This is David from hassle-free-cashflow-investing.com, and today's question on our blog came from someone who's 20 years old and looking to buy their first property, and they don't have much credit and they don't have a down payment. Their question was, how do you finance property when you don't have a down payment? And there's kind of two strategies. One, you could go entirely private financing. There's hard money lenders out there. You can work with seller financing, etc. Those deals are few and far between. They usually don't cash flow, and it's not a very duplicatable model to chase. And kind of a rule of thumb is if the seller's going to carry financing for you, usually it's going to be at a cost that is higher than the rent. So that doesn't really make a lot of sense. However, there are lots of ways to manufacture a down payment if you do have the ability to get a loan. For example, if you have the ability to get 80% of the purchase price from a bank and you just need 20% of the purchase price, there are a bunch of creative ways that you can make that down payment happen. Now, you have to be very careful that you're complying with RESPA, Real Estate Settlement and Procedures Act, and that you are not committing lender fraud. But if you can find ways to be compliant and make your lender happy, there's lots of ways to get that down payment. One way that would be compliant is you can borrow the money from a credit card, or you can borrow it from a friend's credit card and make them part of your deal. One credit card strategy is, instead of doing a cash advance, maybe someone in your family is going to make a major purchase on their credit card, and they could put it on your credit card and then pay you cash, and that'll give you cash for the down payment. Another obvious place that people miss in finding the down payment is from the seller themselves. Maybe the seller will take something that you've got, like a car or your services. Maybe you could go do paint their house or do some type of a service for them. Maybe you have a musical instrument or a skill, or maybe the seller would take a promissory note just for the down payment. And so if you're working with a conventional bank loan, 4 to 5%, and you've got the seller to carry that equity, now you've got the possibility for that property to cash flow. The other thing you can do is put that down payment debt on a different property that you own, or maybe the property of a friend of yours or a partner of yours. So you could get that debt 100% financing, or you can get that property 100% financed if the seller is willing to basically find a way to finance that down payment for you in a way that's compliant with RESPA. A great strategy that I use all the time is I'll use a real down payment to go buy the property. So I'll put 20% down, the lender will finance it, and then after close of escrow, I'll get a private party, sometimes even the seller, to do a cash out second mortgage so that I'm 100% or maybe 95 or 90% financed on the purchase. So be creative. You can find out a bunch more creative financing ideas on my website, hassle-free-cashflow-investing.com.